Kidnapping of Nikki Spencer. We're pursuing every avenue to find the Los Tigres safe house.
The killer's still learning what he enjoys.
A serial killer?
Killer's methods are escalating.
Can't believe you're taking his side over mine.
No, let me go!
How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Real Night. Today we are hopping back into Dexter Original Sin, episode number 7 here. We're almost done with this season, and it's been pretty enjoyable so far. I will say, like, some of the scripting, the dialogue, has been somewhat lackluster, the acting, but overall I've pretty much enjoyed it so far. It's been a nice callback to, of course, original Dexter with all the, little Easter eggs here and there. And last we left off, like at the very end, and, one of the most important pieces is that Dexter's dumping site has been discovered. So that's going to lead to an investigation for sure. Harry's probably going to be even more mad at Dexter. He just continually keeps getting angrier and angrier with Dexter, probably due to the fact that he's also probably pretty angry with himself too, just for doing what he did, and for it to be actually coming to fruition here and not having been kind of stopped early on, which is probably what he expected to happen. Like, maybe he expected Dexter to get cold feet and whatnot, but I mean, that's a lot to dive into as far as all that goes. Still aren't much closer to finding this person that's abducted the captain's son, and there seems to be a killer that's kind of getting their footing and like figuring out how they like to kill. So maybe those two things are connected, maybe they're separate, but I guess we'll find out. Let's roll it. Pretty straightforward title.
In that split second, I decided the best thing I could do was act like I belonged.
Yeah.
But working a crime scene at my victim dumping grounds with Levi Reed's body.
Yeah, I guess this is the first time. He's done it many, many times after this.
The one thing I could decide, my last meal. A porterhouse steak, blood rare, and a milkshake.
Wasn't Florida like one of the last states that still had the death penalty?
As of 2025, 27 states allow the death penalty, and yes, one of them is Florida.
They were intact enough to produce at least partial prints. And Ferrer's prints could lead homicide to me.
I don't know if tossing the hand in there would... You can feign some kind of like being scared or something.
Bon appetit.
No other body parts.
Nope, we did a full sweep.
Alligator came out of nowhere.
How the hell could you let this happen?
He could have died, Detective.
I still had garbage to take out.
Yeah. Where to, though? So we got Camilla mentioning a boat. He mentioned the boat earlier. It's just like, where is the boat? I thought Harry still had it, you know what I'm saying? Unless I forgot something that they mentioned early on. It's like, from my understanding, Dexter inherited that boat from Harry.
Not now, Sophia.
There he goes. I guess maybe somebody else's problem now. Like, I don't know what that process is as far as like the trash. I assume probably taken to a dump, meaning it might be still intact.
3 hours from now, his body will be lost in a sea.
Okay, they're gonna tell us.
Right where it belonged.
Kid is innovative, huh? Gonna dig his way out through the floor? Oh, okay, just sharpening it. I was like, wait a minute. Himself a prison shiv.
Hey, any idea why Sophia keeps sending me these random numbers?
Duh, it's beeper code, dumbass. Here, give me your pager.
Beeper code.
When was the last time you talked to her?
Not since our double date.
You haven't called her since she blew you?
Yeah, pagers were such like a small, such like a small frame of time, I think. If I remember correctly, like it's just, they were a thing for a little bit and then boom, they just kind of disappeared. With like the advent of cell phones and stuff. I think people still might use them, but just as, maybe as a novelty thing.
Please, don't tell me Levi's body is still in the truck.
He'll be buried in a landfill by now.
All right, well, that explains the smell.
Yeah.
Burn those clothes and I'll see you at work.
Yeah, that situation was remedied pretty quickly. I don't know why he mentioned the earrings in that case. Like if it was just going to be solved that fast. It was just like a close call, which we've had many of those so far. Oh.
Why haven't you been answering any of my pages?
I was working a crime scene.
Oh my god, I'm so glad that you're okay. You're a baby.
Sophia. She's just leading this entire thing.
Is this why you've been ignoring me? Because you're cheating on me? God, I can't believe you had me feeling sorry for you, dickhead!
I mean, and they were barely dating.
It's been 4 days since Nikki was taken. Every second counts. God only knows what Nikki's going through.
You know, he might be putting them through something.
I think we're dealing with a serial killer.
My office.
Taking up his idea. It's good.
Dexter's cheating on me.
You gotta trust me. Dexter wouldn't cheat, okay? He's not a player. I literally had to convince him to go out with you.
Excuse me?
That's not what I meant. I'm just saying he's a fucking dweeb when it comes to girls.
I can't believe you're taking his side over mine.
Oh. I mean, like, didn't they grow up around each other? I don't know when their friendship started or whatever. Like, wouldn't she know about Dexter? Like, how clueless he can be?
So, nobody here really knows.
No big deal.
Look, I've learned that it's better to keep those two sides of myself separate.
Well, your secret's safe with me.
One of the fastest ways to become friends with somebody.
The last 3 NHI murders, as you call them, have striking similarities. He's experimenting. He's becoming more violent.
I think she's onto something, Aaron. I think it's worth pursuing.
I look forward to being amazed.
It's been almost a year now. When is it gonna end?
Is this another year? I mean, yeah, his haircuts has changed a little bit.
What if I walk away?
You go to jail, and they'll put the boys in foster care.
Daddy.
No, that's not your daddy, baby.
Yeah, we haven't gotten too much Brian. I was really interested in, like, what their dynamic would have been, but we still didn't really get much. Just like we haven't gotten much from Masuka either. I guess it's just kind of a tradition at this point, you know? Masuka is just forever a side character.
Do you want to know how it happened?
I don't.
I think we should talk about it. I think you need to hear it.
No, Harry, that's what you need.
Doris, please. I'm sorry.
That's the first time you've actually said you're sorry.
Such a complicated situation, honestly. It's just like a, you know, situation where I'm like, you know, okay, like if Harry's truly trying to like make things happen, he is truly sorry, and, you know, he wants to be there for Deb and wants to be there for his wife, like, all right, they can move forward, that's cool, but I could definitely understand her hesitance as well, you know. Trust has to be rebuilt.
See that snake ring? Belongs to Tony Ferrer, that hijo de puta I told you about, back at my cousin's restaurant.
And you show that photo to the family of Tony's victims, I bet they'd think it's justice. Instead of spending time on a dead man, maybe you should focus on the cases that actually deserve your energy.
Nikki Spencer. Thanks for talking me off the ledge, amigo.
Nice little loophole when you only kill bad people, or people that, you know, generally deserve it. Most of the time. Early on, at least.
Black and gold Pontiac with stolen plates.
Where are we headed?
Alapata.
Let's go, Poppy.
I just died on your arms tonight.
You're gonna have to come in here and make me eat the motherfucker!
No scream or anything, interesting.
Go, let me go! My father's...
Oh, taking a finger now. I mean, at least he fought back, and maybe that cut will, you know, give us some more information.
What do you want?
We're detectives with Miami Metro. We just have a few questions about the Pontiac parked in the street.
These nice officers want to ask you about your new car.
Somebody sold it to her, maybe?
We saw it sitting on the side of the US one, $300.
Unfortunately, we're gonna have to impound it as evidence.
Thought I'd brush up and look to the greats for solutions to my body disposal problem.
The butcher.
Ed Gein.
Oh, made furniture out of him, huh?
There's lots of uses for a human body.
Yeah, thanks.
I'm familiar with some kind of killer that did that, I believe.
The answer you're looking for is right in front of you, big guy. But besides that, Ed Gein was the inspiration for many horror classics like Psycho and Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
And this is really cool. This is a really cool, concept here. Well, yeah, he's trying to gain knowledge from people who got caught, which might not be the best. Interesting.
Buried victims in his crawl space.
My dad would kill me if I buried my victims under our house.
Yeah. That was a really messed up one. He would use like lime and stuff.
There you go. Communicate.
Yeah, the coach yelling out, communicate.
You and your greasy little boyfriend got sand in the engine. It totally screwed up my transmission.
You told her? Can't take your side all the time.
It was a dumb prank, honestly. Like,
At least I don't look like Pippi dick sucking.
My office, now.
scholarship issue now. If she gets taken out, that is, drama.
Alligator Alley is a pretty good place to dump a body.
What would be other good ways to get rid of a body?
If it's a hot girl, taxidermy. I'd invite Hannibal.
I mean, yeah, I guess that's a callback to New Blood.
What about you?
I'd dump him at a construction site, night before they pour the cement.
Callback to Trinity.
You're not gonna check that?
I don't speak beeper code.
Finger, yeah. It's interesting to get this perspective on pages. I know this is not the time to be talking about that, but, I have no experience with pagers. I didn't have one or have never had one, so.
Wasuka Morgan, my office.
I had a vague understanding of, what they were and what they did, but I didn't know there was, a whole code to it, like Morse code or something.
It looks like the finger was severed using pruning shears. Just like Jimmy Powell.
Could this be the killer?
Yeah, the blood from the cut.
Let's pull both samples so we can test.
Yeah. I wonder if maybe this is where he got the idea. Because if that's the victim's blood, then his very first slide.
We ran the print, and it matches school records. But we did notice a small spatter of blood on the outside of the box. There's a chance that it could be the perp's blood.
When will we get the blood test results?
We're expediting the labs. We should have them first thing in the morning.
What's this?
Pontiac is registered to a Paul Petrie. Road trip mañana?
Sounds good.
We're getting, more friendly and friendly. It's nice to see that, which is, as I said, I'm using their relationship here to kind of gauge the interaction she and Deb had early on. So maybe they have a falling out, maybe, but if she and Harry had a good relationship going, then why would she have such a thing against Deb?
I'll just drop these inside.
Leave them.
No, not the produce. Come on. Get some bugs on it. I don't think that's the same house that they used in the original. Because the other house had a gate and the yard was bigger. No wonder Hector's girl was a ride or die.
Para Moser, meet Hector Estrada.
I'm impressed on how you've been able to expand your clientele. Very enterprising. What is it that drives you?
My family.
Brian, and what is it? Oh yes, Dexter.
Oh, I thought he was gonna call him
Dickie Moser. Dexter. Dickie Moser.
There are many other ways to provide that are far less treacherous.
I want this. Anything and everything at the drop of a hat.
I wonder if she's still playing the game or if she's kind of getting serious about it. I don't know. I would assume that maybe she's still playing the game. Probably gonna go to Harry and tell him or something.
No hesitation cut. No hesitation cut on Jimmy's finger.
How come you're not at practice?
Got kicked off the team and suspended from school.
There it is.
That scholarship is the only way I can send you to FSU.
then maybe I won't go. Guess I have a lot of thinking to do. And I'm gonna do that thinking at Gio's.
You go out that door, you're grounded.
So what you're, if I leave this house, I can't leave this house. Good one, Dad. He threw a hissy fit because I punched Tiffany in the face.
I mean, he didn't really throw a fit.
The only thing that could pull me from my to-do list was helping take down this child killer.
I have to say, I really have enjoyed like the editing of this. As somebody who does editing, it's really nice to see. Seems like they gave the editors a lot of license on this, which is cool. Or, you know, the director and the editor worked like extremely closely, which is usually how it goes, but I feel like there was just a little bit more in this.
I noticed a small hesitation cut on Nikki's finger, but not on Jimmy Powell's. Or maybe even someone who feels some kind of connection to Nikki. Ouch.
But why?
This is what I get.
Why would it be him?
Shitty apartment. I haven't been able to sleep very well lately.
Get back at his wife, or?
Theories that could help me find out who did this to Nikki. Come to me directly.
Blackmail of some kind, maybe? But why his own son?
How had I not seen this before?
They're really popular. They any good?
My kid loves them.
Seeing a different side to Spencer, huh? I just don't understand the motivation. I'm sure they'll tell us, but yeah, that was that. So yeah, that was an interesting episode. I honestly didn't have too much to say, but it's been enjoyable so far. I'm just kind of taking the story for what it is. You know, all the little callbacks are still fun, and of course, as I mentioned, the editing has been great. The cinematography, everything like came together great to make this look really good, I think. And the music has been on point as well. It's just the story is just, you know, I wasn't expecting anything groundbreaking because, again, this is a prequel. So, like, when you're dealing with a prequel, there's only so much you can do and change that, you know, hasn't been established already in the actual series. So, and I think that might be an issue that they kind of ran into where they had to like retcon a lot of this stuff as well. Like some of this stuff is, you know, kind of changed in a way that, you know, it could have been this way. It could have not been this way, but it is what it is. Now, the angle of him kidnapping his own son, and I assume maybe he killed the other kid, or that could have been another person. Of course, he has a hand in everything. He has a hand in everything going on. So he was the one to, of course, kidnap his own son, punch his ex-wife in the face. That's crazy. But I just want to know, like, what he's in this for. I guess he's just a serial killer. It's like looking for attention. Is he like crashing out? Like, what's going on? Like, he didn't give any demands to the judge that we know of. And for his own child, like, the only explanation that I could see right now would just be attention. His, like, personal life had kind of crumbled. You know, his wife cheated on him for years and years, apparently. And then is now either married or the fiance to the guy that she was cheating on him with. And they're living in his house. So I can understand a crash out in that situation, right? But to this level, and why start with the judge's kid? Maybe just like testing the waters to see, you know, what he wanted to do with it. But with no demands, that's really all I can think of. And if they are connected, the serial killer that LaGuerta and Harry are investigating, and like the Jimmy Powell, of course, Captain Spencer's son, who is Captain Spencer, we kind of have confirmation that this is the person, right? It could be a situation where, like, this, he needed some kind of outlet and something like snapped in him to where he's now feeling the need to kill, and like those other killings were just him just trying to like take people out and figure out how he wanted to do things. But at the same time, it seems like he has ironed out the whole process with like the kidnapped boys. So it's kind of a weird situation in that, like, maybe it's the same, maybe it's not. But I don't think so, because we are kind of going on a different route with all this stuff. As far as like the Guerta and Harry go, they're going to go on some kind of road trip apparently. But and again, we have the boat situation to figure out. I was under the impression that Harry still had the boat. Maybe he gave it to Camilla and them, and that's maybe that's the boat they were talking about. But if that is the case, how would he have gotten it back, and why would he have gotten it back? You know what I'm saying? Maybe just letting them use it. We'll figure that situation out, I guess. But it seems like a bit of a fumble, a little bit, to not have dealt with the boat situation already. They're trying to provide conflict in the story to, give us a little bit of suspense. How is Dexter going to dump these bodies? And of course, we all know it is a prequel, but it's not set up to be one because, of course, in episode 1, we had the whole New Blood situation happen. So figuring out he's still alive and stuff like that. So I guess that's not really their intention to make this oh, you can watch this before you watch the original. So much drama happened with Deb this episode. It was, I don't know, kind of contrived to me. One, that's her best friend. I get, when relationships can be involved, stuff can get hazy, but at the same time, and I understand she's mad at her and whatnot, but would it really be to that extent this fast? Sophia, she knew Dexter, at least for a certain period of time. I don't know, maybe since the beginning of when she and Deb were in high school or something. I don't know how long their friendship has been, but she has known Dexter. She's known about him for a while, and she maybe has caught a vibe from him before and figuring who he kind of is. I understand her frustration, right, with him. But then when Deb kind of explains it, and she didn't explain it in the best way, of course, but they are supposed to be best friends. They're supposed to know each other really well. So for that communication not to be there, for her to be trying to tell her hey, Dexter wouldn't do that, and she could have mentioned him not knowing what her pages meant and all that stuff, but kicked off of the team that quick. Scholarships out of the window. She's not gonna go to college. So they were really just trying to set it up for her to, of course, join the department. But I don't know. We'll see how things go. We didn't get any more information on Gio, so I'm assuming he's still in the same position that he was before. So yeah, we'll see. Small little note here to close things out. Deb did mention that she experimented dating women or being with women in college in one of the episodes that we saw when she was talking to Francis.
Francis, if I hadn't already gone through that phase in college, I'd kiss you.
So I assume she will be going to college at some point, but she's just not going to be able to do it through the scholarship. And if they retcon that and she doesn't go to college at all, I mean, that is what it is, I guess. We do have somewhat of a confirmation that she went to college. As far as Captain Spencer's motivations, I explain more in the next episode. But as for this one, that's probably where we're going to leave it. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and leave a comment down below. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all on the next one.